Hey guys, episode 25.
And Archer 1934.
With episode 73 of Ranger Review. Today we have the Power Rangers Mystic Force Titan Megazord and the Power Rangers Zeo Megazord. Now, I will say right now that the Titan Megazord is actually almost like a reissue because back in the RPM line, we did get the Titan Megazord, but it was not widely released compared to the Wild Force, the RPM, and the original MMPR Megazord. So it was kind of pretty hard to find the Titan Megazord. Now, each of the boxes, they talk about the story of either Mystic Force or Power Rangers Zeo, how it happens, and the Megazord itself. They also said it's also available. They still keep the original box art from the first wave of the Samurai Retrofires. It has the Power Rangers Samurai logo and it says Collector's Edition on it.
I also like to point out that they actually have the original word Saban on the original logo.
This time now it's
before
Saban.
When Disney was reissuing these figurines, Saban was omitted in the original logos.
Alright, so now we have the Retrofire Zeo Megazord. Now, this thing looks actually pretty cool for a Retrofire. Just like the other Retrofires, the legs have a little articulation. And actually, there's still the hole or the peg in the butt, which I like to call it.
So you can still use the original stands.
You can still use the stands. They look pretty cool. They still have the movement. Now, the only difference is that the bad part is this fist doesn't move and this one actually can move. It does rotate like the other Retrofires. It does have the 360 rotation and you can bend it a lot. So it's really posable like the others. Now the gimmick for this is that they actually included the aka the wings in which you're supposed to fold down for the Megazord. Now the bad part about this one is, I don't know if it's a default or is it for all Zeros, but if you look closely, the peg, the two red pegs, they're not centered correctly. They're actually off. The right side is actually off by a little.
This design actually makes it harder to push into the pin slots.
Now, just like the other Retrofires, you can't take off the shoulder pads. Now, my shoulder pads for this one is really loose for some reason. Now, you have the sword. Now, the sword, I actually like the sword. It's actually pretty nicely detailed.
Yeah, although I wish the chrome handle would have been painted into gold. That's like the only thing that's missing from it.
And you just slip it in, and there's your Retrofire Zeo Megazord ready for action. Now, the funny thing is that the gold on this is really nice. It actually looks like it's chrome gold, but it's actually not. And you can see the details on the wheels for both Zeos 1 and 2. Alright, so now we have the Retrofire Titan Megazord. Like I said before, this is a reissue, so this is almost exactly the same one that was released 2 years back. It's pretty, just like the others. For some reason, this one now, the shoulder pads don't come off. The details and the sculpt is really nice for it. It actually looks nice. Now, what's interesting about the Mystic Force Titan Megazord is that they actually kept the M symbol of Maji Ranger on the back of it, which is really interesting to see. Now, it also has the Garuda rings. Now, these things, the only problem I don't have is that they're not painted at all. It's like you just painted a little here and they kept the rest all black. Now, it actually makes it look like it's a bird because it has the big wings. And it does include the Titan saber. Now, what's really different, I find this odd, is that the fist is all crooked down, it's not straight up. But putting it in is actually not that hard, but you can't raise it up like you would think it is, so you have to do it like this. You can't move the wrist, unlike the others, you can't move this wrist. There's no elbow joint here, so you can't bend it much, but you can rotate the 360, so that's pretty interesting to see on that. Other than that, it's actually nicely detailed, and especially if you guys wanted the Mystic Force Titan Megazord back in the RPM days and you couldn't find it, now is a really good time because they reissued it. Overall, the toy is actually pretty decent. Hopefully we do see more of the Retrofire line. You know, the wings are pretty big for the Titan Megazord, but other than that, they're really cool for display. They really are really posable, so you know, you can pose them whichever way you want. The only thing is that sometimes, since most of them aren't painted, like the Mystic Force Titan, the back is all black. It doesn't really, it doesn't really look good, but other than that, it's actually a pretty cool thing. But yeah, so that's it for our review of the new Retrofire series. Join us next time for the Power Rangers Wild Force the Megazord. Rate, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next week. Now, you don't really have to use the wings, but I personally don't like using the wings because the Zeo Megazord never even showed the wings. It was always folded down. And you can see the back, it has the pegs and all that. You know, they're pretty nicely detailed and okay.